सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। For this e-retreat, we have thought of studying this text called Kaupina Panchakam, otherwise called Yati Panchakam. This text is attributed to भगवान शंकराचार्य जी. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is well known for his Bhashyam, the commentary on Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. But he has written some Prakarana Granthas, some Stotras like Tattva Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, some other Stotras like Krishnashtakam, Bhajagovindam and Nirvana Shatkam. Like that, one more is Kaupina Panchakam. It is considered to be a stotram and by some acharya as prakaranam also. More, it is known as stotram. It comes in Stotra Ratnavali, a book of stotras. This Kaupina Panchakam may be there. Stotram means stuyate anena iti stotram, a group of verses by which something or someone is glorified, praised. That is called stotram. We have Saraswati stotram, Dakshinamurti stotram, where Dakshinamurti, Saraswati are glorified, praised. So a group of verses where some praise, glorification is done. And this stotram can have 5 slokas, 6 slokas, 7 slokas, and based on that they are named. The last part of their name will be based on the number of verses. Like Nirvana Shatkam. Shatkam means a group of 6. Ashtakam, group of 8. Generally we don't find so many Navakam or Saptakam. Either Shatkam, Ashtakam, Dashakam is there. And this one is Panchakam, a group of 5 verses. So a stotram, a collection of verses, Panchakam having 5 verses. So Panchakam means a group of 5 verses. Like we have Sadhana Panchakam. And this Panchakam is talking about what? Kaupina Panchakam. Talking about Kaupina is a very funny title, because Kaupina means a loin cloth, a piece of cloth covering the lower part of the body. That is called Kaupinam. I hope all of you have seen Kaupinam. You have that picture, Shiva? You can show it if it is possible. This Ramana Maharshi used to wear many times, so you must have seen that picture. So where Kaupin also has got so many varieties. But the general variety, I will show it in this picture of Ramana Maharshi. You might have seen the picture where he is wearing Kaupinam. As such, everybody knows, but some people who are not familiar, for them it will be useful. If it takes time, leave it. Huh? Oh. Okay. Because in Vedanta we cannot show Brahman, Maya, etc. This much. So this we can show. Which no, I sent one specific one. This one. So what Ramana Maharshi is wearing, that is called Kaupinam. And one standing one also is there. This standing picture of Ramana Maharshi. There. So, okay, and this, okay. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so all of you got what he is wearing is called Kaupinam. Alright. Alright, you please switch it off. Alright. Otherwise your mind will go there. What Ramana Maharshi, when was he, what is his sadhana, all this. So let us come back. So Kaupina Panchakam literally means a group of 5 verses talking about Kaupinam. Literally it means that. So you may wonder that this Panchakam will tell how much cloth is required, which color can be there, what are the stitching charges, and as I said, what are the varieties. So that is not talked about in this. Kaupina by Lakshana refers to a person who is wearing Kaupina. Kaupina Vantaha Khalu. So in this 5 verses, a person who is wearing Kaupina is talked about. So really Kaupina Panchakam is Kaupina Vat Panchakam. Vat means endowed with, wearing. So this stotra is talking about, this stotra consisting of 5 verses, talking about a person who wears Kaupinam. You may wonder what a great thing. Many people wear. No. This person is Kaupinavan, plural is Kaupinavantaha. These people are Kaupinavantaha. And what is suggested is they have only possession of Kaupinam. This person does not have any other possession except this Kaupinam. Such a person is called Kaupinavan, plural is Kaupinavantaha. And in this stotra, this will be the refrain. Refrain means the line which is repeated. Kaupinavantah khalu bhagyavantaha, Kaupinavantah khalu bhagyavantaha. 5 times it will come. Therefore, this stotra is called Kaupina Panchakam, a group of 5 verses describing a person who possesses only Kaupinam. Means a person who is free of all possessions. So this Kaupina, or a person who is wearing kaupina is the description or indicative of vairagyam, dispassion, simplicity in life. So in this stotra, the vairagyam, dispassion of a renunciate is glorified. Vairagyam of a person is glorified. His simplicity is glorified. And being a kaupinavan, having only kaupinam, people may think that he must be very unhappy. But this sutra dismisses that line of thinking. What is the general line of thinking? More possessions, more happiness. Less possessions, less happiness. That line of thinking is dismissed in this sutra. By saying, even though this person has got only kaupinam, only a small piece of cloth as his possession, still he is bhagyavantaha. He is very fortunate. He feels very blessed. Thus, vairagyam is bhagyam. Na khalu bhogaha bhagyam. Generally, enjoyment is considered to be fortune. Person is considered to be fortunate when he can enjoy more, he can possess more. But here Shankaracharya ji says, this person kaupinavantaha api bhagyavantaha. Even though he has got only kaupinam, still he is bhagyavan. Thus, there is glorification, stuti of vairagyam, born of wisdom. The fortunate vairagyam, vairagyam which is a mark of fortune, is glorified. And therefore this stotra is called Kaupina Panchakam, a group of 5 verses dealing with Kaupina, that cloth, indicating the person who is very fortunate and dispassionate. And therefore this stotra named is named as Kaupina Panchakam. And another name, some people may not like this name. What is this Kaupina Panchakam? So another name, if you don't like this name, another name is Yati Panchakam. Panchakam, a group of 5 verses, Yati. Yati popularly means Rudhyarthaha of Yati sannyasi. But derivative meaning is Yatate iti yatihi. Yatate mokshartham iti yatihi. One who strives sincerely for moksha, one who strives in exclusion of all other pursuit for moksha, that person is called yatihi. And generally, a sannyasi is supposed to be exclusively committed to the pursuit of moksha, therefore sannyasi is called yatihi. But if you go by derivative meaning, any sincere seeker, any seeker who is committed to the goal of moksha and doing his sadhana with commitment, that person, whether he is a sannyasi or not, can be called yatihi. So Yati Panchakam means a group of 5 verses dealing with sannyasi or a sincere, dispassionate seeker. This is Yati Panchakam Stotram. Name is Yati Panchaka Stotram. But this text can also be considered to be a prakarana. And we have a lot of discussion we had in this prakarana. What is the definition of prakarana? Shastraika desha sambaddham. Shastra karyantare sthitam. Shastraika desha sambaddham. शास्त्र कार्यांतरे स्थितम आहुः प्रकरणम नाम आहुः प्रकरणम नाम ग्रंथ भेदम विपश्चितः शास्त्रैक देश संबद्धम शास्त्र कार्यांतरे स्थितम आहुः प्रकरणम नाम ग्रंथ भेदम विपश्चितः. Vipashchitah means intelligent, learned people. Grantha Vedam, a particular text, a particular type of text. Prakaranam Ahuhu. So learned people declare a particular type of text as Prakaranam. Ahuhu declare. Grantha Veda, a particular type of text. Now, particular text, type of text means what? The text which is Shastraika Desha Sambaddham. Sambaddham is associated with Eka Desha, one part, one aspect of Shastra, the body of scriptures. And Shastra Karyantare Sthitam, and which is present in, engaged in Karyantare, in the job other than the job done by the main scripture. Means Shastra Karyantare Sthitam. Sthitam is present, engaged, Karyantare in another function. The function other than the functions of the main scripture. I will explain it. So Prakaranam has got two characteristics. The first one is Ekadesha Sambaddham. It is dealing with only one aspect of the complete teaching of Shastra. And what is the complete teaching? If you remember, Swamiji, based on Anandagiri, he had told that what are the topics covered. He said, Adhikare Nirnaya, Gurupadesha Sadanam, Padarthadvaya Vichara, Virodha Parihara, Sadhana, Phala. These are the topics he talked about. But let us put it in a more more classified manner. Shastra generally deals with three topics, mainly three topics. One is sadhanam, second is padartha traya vichara, and third is jnana phalam. The first is jnana sadhanam, second is padartha traya vichara or jnanam itself, brahmatma jnanam or padartha traya vichara, and third is jnana phalam. These are the three topics dealt with in Shastra. In fact, any topic you tell will come under these three. And first one is sadhanam. Sadhanam are of two types. One is called sahakari sadhanam or parampara sadhanam, other is called sakshat sadhanam. So, from the standpoint of Atmajnanam, if we see, so parampara sadhanam will be karma yoga and upasana, leading to sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So all these under sadhanam, karma yoga and upasana will be talked about, even though they are the topic of karma kanda, but in Vedanta also as a means for chitta shuddhi they are talked about. And that is Karma Yoga Upasana leading to Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti and Sakshat Sadhanam for Jnanam Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. So these are the three things, subtopics of the first one. What is the first topic? Jnana Sadhanam. Subtopics will be Karma Yoga and Upasana. leading to sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. And second is the Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. Okay, let us keep it this way. Karma Yoga Upasana, the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, and Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. These are the three subtopics of the first. Second one is Padartha Traya Vichara. Three Padartha, the meanings of words, are talked about. Padartha means Padasya Arthaha. And what are the three Padarthas? Tvam Padartha, Tat Padartha, Asi Padartha. So, this is the central topic of Vedanta. Vedanta Shastra, central topic is this, Tat, Tvam and Asi. In Tvam Padartha Vichara, Jiva will be talked about. Tat Padartha, Ishvara and creation will be talked about. And Asi, their oneness will be talked about. This is the second topic, Padartha Traya Vichara or Brahmatma Swarupa Vichara. The third topic is Jnana Phalam. What is the result of this Jnanam? Various ways it is described. But generally we say Jivan Muktihi, Videha Muktihi cha. In one word, if you want to describe, Mokshaha, Muktihi. But this Mukti is of two types, Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti means freedom while living. As even a person is alive, he is free. That freedom is called Jivan Muktihi, and Videha Mukti means he is not born again. Freedom characterized by the absence of the body, absence of the next body, that is called Videha Mukti. And the Jivan Mukti is described in so many ways. A person has Sukhasya, Paramanandasya Praptihi, Dukkhasya Atyantika Nivrittihi, the attainment of the highest happiness called fullness, and removal of dukkha, that is moksha, Jivan Mukti. And also we can say that this freedom, moksha, is in terms of he is being free from dependence upon the world to be happy, peaceful and secure. This is Jivan Mukti. Freedom from dependence upon the world to be happy, peaceful and secure. That is called freedom. Means this person does not depend upon anything or anyone to be happy. That is called Jivan Mukti. Jnana Phalam. This is the third topic. And that topic, Jnana Phalam, in the form of freedom from dependence upon the world to be happy, is glorified in this stotra. Therefore it is what? Shastraika Desha Sambaddham. Shastra has got three topics. We have seen Sadhanam, Jnana Sadhanam, then Jnanam itself in terms of Padartha Traya Vichara, and the third is Jnana Phalam. These are the three topics. Out of these three, in this Kaupina Panchakam, Jnana Phalam is talked about. In that also, Jivan Mukti Rupa Jnana Phalam is talked about. And the Jivan Mukti also can be talked about in various ways. Here, mainly it is talked about in the form of he is being independent of the world to be happy. He is happy with oneself. He doesn't require anything, gross or subtle, to be happy. And that aspect is talked about. Therefore, this text can be called Prakaranam as well. Kaupina Panchaka Prakaranam also can be told. Alright. So with this introduction, we'll enter into the shloka and the meaning we'll see tomorrow. But we'll chant the shloka. Vedantavakyeshu sadaramantaha भिक्षान्दमात्रेण चतुष्टिमन्तः विशोकमन्तः करणे चरन्तः कौपीनवन्तः खलु भाग्यवन्तः Okay, we'll see the meaning tomorrow. Now let us have Ramodanta a little bit. We'll chant 3 shlokas. Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantamupasmahe Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Hanumat Sameta Shri Ramachandra Swamine Namaha. Now we'll chant the first shloka together. Shri Patim Pranipatyaham Shri Vatsankita Vakshasam Shri Ramodantamakhyasye Shri Valmiki Prakirtitam. Okay. We'll read from 12th shloka together. Tatastasmin avasare Vidataram divaukasaha upagamyo chire sarvam Ravanasya vicheshtitam tada karnya sure sakam prapya dugdho dadestatam tuštavacharushi kesham vidhata vividhaistavaihi avirbhuyath daityarihi papracha cha pitamaham kimarthamagatosi tvam sakam devaganairiti. So the story so far is, there was a person called Vishravas. He had 3 children who are called Rakshasas, who are Rakshasa category, and they are Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana. Of course, Vibhishana was not having Gunataha Rakshasa disposition, but he was born in Rakshasa race, Rakshasa family. And these 3 went to some forest or somewhere and did tapas. Brahmaji appeared and Ravana asked that he should not be killed by anyone except human beings. And Kumbhakarna wanted to destroy all the devatas. So he wanted to ask Nirdevatvam, but because of some reason he asked Nidravatvam. So sleep he asked, and therefore Tathastu. So he used to sleep for 6 months get up for one day and eat a lot, then again sleep. So that is how the Kumbhakarna's lot was. Vibhishana was a sattvic person. He asked for devotion to Vishnu. And Ravana, because of his immunity from all other people, he became very powerful and he attacked all the lokas. And he used to disturb the yajnas, rituals. He used to even harass the dvijas. And he took away the aeroplane of his own cousin, his own brother's step-brother. And he conquered the Lanka and he was staying there. So many Rakshasas also joined him. And he was a burden to the entire world. And therefore, Devatas, harassed by this Ravana, went to Brahmaji and told their problem. And Brahmaji said he also cannot do much about it because he himself had given the boon. So he said, we will request Vishnu. So they went to Kshirasagara and praised Vishnu. Vishnu appeared and asked Brahmaji, what for you have come? Kimartham agatosi tvam sakam devaganaihi iti. Up to this we had seen. Now we'll read. Tato dashananat pidam ajastasmenya vedayat. तच्छ्रुत्वोवाच धातारं हर्षयन् विष्टरश्रवाः. Tataha, thereafter, when Vishnu asked that what for you have come, then Brahmaji Nyavedayat presented, described Tasmai to Vishnu, to that Vishnu. Ajaha, Ajaha means Brahmaji. Brahmaji Nyavedayat. He is called Ajaha because he was not born in a regular way. Therefore, he is called Ajaha, Brahmaji. So, he presented the problem to Vishnu. What was the problem? Dashananat Pidam. Affliction from Dashanana, from Ravana. The harassment from Ravana. He talked about that in what all manners the Devas and Manushya and all of them are harassed by Ravana. Tachrutva, listening to that problems created by Ravana, Uvacha, told who? Vishtara Shravaha, name of Vishnu. So Vishnu Uvacha, Vishnu told Dhataram to Brahmaji, Harshayan, making him happy. So Vishnu told the following sentences to Brahmaji, making him very happy. And Vishnu is called Vishtara Shravaha. Vishtara means well spread. Shravaha means Kirti. So Vishtaram Shravaha Yasya, one whose the Kirti, fame is well spread, is called Vishtara Shravaha, Vishnu. So Vishnu told the following sentence to Brahmaji, making him very happy. Achha, what did he say? Alambhayenatmayone gaccha deva ganai saha. Aham dasharathir bhutva anishyami dashananam. Hey Atmayoni, Sambodhana to Brahmaji. Atmayone. Pratipadika is Atmayoni. One who is born of himself, born by oneself, is called Atmayoni. Self-born. And he said, so Vishnu is speaking to Brahmaji. O Atmayoni, alam bhayena. Enough of fear now. In Sanskrit, this alam is an avyaya, indeclinable. It has got the meaning of enough. Like somebody is fighting, you say alam kalahena. Enough with fighting. Somebody is eating too much. Alam bhojanena. Enough with food now. Enough with eating. So it has got this meaning. Alam bhayena means now you need not fear. You have been frightened enough. Now you need not get frightened. So alam bhayena, enough of fear, means your fear is going to get over. That is the idea. Alam bhayena. Now how it is simply saying that don't worry, don't worry. It's not like hollow advice. Don't worry. He said, Gacha devaganaihi saha. You go back along with the devatas to your respective places. Why you need not have fear? Because aham dasharatihi bhutva. Having become bhutva, Dasharathi, the child of Dasharatha, a son of Dasharatha, aham, I Vishnu, having become son of Dasharatha, Hanishyami, I will kill Dashananam, this Ravana. So I will kill Ravana having become this son of Dasharatha. But he said that don't expect me to do everything. You know, Bhagavan always wants partnership. So I will do something for you, but you also do something. And what is that? He says in the next sloka. Atmam sheshya suras sarve bhumau vanara rupinaha jayeran mama sahayam kartum ravana nigrahe. So he says, Suraha, all the devatas, Jayeran, let them be born. Atmam Shehi, through their aspects, through their amsha, through their part. They need not be completely born, but their some aspect should be born. So Atmam Shehi, through their own aspect, through their own part, let the devas be born. Sarve Suraha, all the devatas. Where? Bhumau, in Bhuloka, on the earth. Bhumau Saptami, Bhumau, Bhumi. Vanar Rupinaha, assuming the form of monkeys. So, becoming monkeys, let the devas be born on the earth through their part, through their one aspect. What purpose? Mama sahayam kartum. Kartum is to do. Sahayam, help. To do help. Mama, to me. Where? Ravana nigrahe. In subduing Ravana. So let all the devatas be born as monkeys and help me in subduing Ravana. So it's a joint venture. Bhagavan says, I will be 50%, but you have to also invest 50%. Mine is 1%, 50%. All of you also do, or 50 or 20%, 10%. So Bhagavan said, let all the devatas be born as Vanaras. That is why those Vanaras were very powerful. People may wonder that how these monkeys were so powerful. Ordinary monkeys cannot do what is described there. The reason is this. They were the amsha of the devatas. So Bhagavan had done very plan. You can see his planning, So now itself, the full plan is made. that we will have monkeys, and so he must have planned also that Ravanas will be doing this and all. This is it's a match fixing. So so it was well planned, well staged drama going to happen. Okay. एवमुक्त्वा विधातारं तत्रैवान्तर्दधे प्रभुः पद्मयोनिस्तु गीर्वाणैः समं प्रायात् प्रहृष्टधीः. Prabhu, the Lord Vishnu, eva muktva, having said thus, to whom? Vidhataram, to Brahmaji. Having talked to Brahmaji in this manner, tatra eva, there itself, antardadhe. Antardadhe means disappeared. That is how they are. They appeared just like that, like a helicopter landing, not aeroplane landing. So they just like they descend as antardade, disappeared. So Prabhu tatra eva antardade, he disappeared. Tu Padmayonihi tu, whereas Padmayoni, Brahmaji, Padma Yonihi, a place of manifestation for whom is called Padmayoni. Padma Yonihi yasya Brahmanaha, sa Brahma Padma Yonihi. So Brahmaji was born or manifested in the lotus. Therefore his name is Padmayoni. Alright. So Brahmaji prayat, went away. Girvanehi samam. Here samam is sakam, with, along with. Along with Girvanehi. Girvane means devatas. Devatas are called Girvana. Why they are called Girvana? Gihi vak iva, vag eva banaha. Yesham te girvanaha. Their speech itself is like an arrow. Just as arrow will hit the target, similarly, if they bless their disciples, it will come true. Therefore, they are called girvanaha. So, devatas. So, Brahmaji along with the devatas, sabam means along with, girvane deve prayat, he went. And only change is, see, when they came, they were very sad. But when he went back, what? Prarushta dhihi. Dhihi means mind. Prarushta means happy. They went with happy mind. Being happy minded, he went. Okay, prayat. Okay, then next one more verse will do. Ajijanat tatah shakro valinam nama vanaram सुग्रीवमपि मार्ताण्डो हनुमन्तं च मारुतः. Okay. So here Shakraha also we can read and Martanda also we can read. Shakraha, Martandaha also we can read. But traditionally people read as it is written. Okay. We are breaking. But generally that is the custom. The traditional, the orthodox people, they don't break sandhi between the two quarters, it should not be broken. For our convenience, Pujya Swamiji said in one of his talks that we are doing it for easy. Otherwise, he himself said, otherwise cannot be done. This tune was developed by some scholar in Chennai. And Pujya Swamiji picked up. And in that they break the sandhi between the two quarters. Between two quarters sandhi cannot be broken. Only between the two halves sandhi can be broken. So generally it is done like this. We will read either way. So whenever whatever comes we read. So when we are reading without breaking sandhi, we are orthodox. Otherwise we are modern. So both we will follow. Okay, next we will see. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।